Okay, hi everybody. My name is Dhimant Parekh, and I'm here to present our initiative called thebetterindia.com. Fundamentally, all of us read newspapers every day, and how many of you here feel really overjoyed by reading your morning newspaper? Right, very few, right? And our idea to this was that, why should news be the way it is today, and why should it really start with all the negative, all the sensationalism that you read? So the Better India was really started to address this problem of there not being sufficient positive news being reported. I'll leave you a moment to just read that quote by G.K. Chesterton. If you look at it, right, if you just look at numbers, there are 82,000 newspapers, news media channels, magazines across the country, largely devoted to peddling negative and sensationalism. The question we really asked ourselves is, what is daily news doing to you? And if you look at it, India's youth, really, which we pride on, which we say that's our huge dividend right now, it's growing up on this. It's growing up on these kind of news channels. And of course, with such a large population, there's got to be a lot of good happening out there. And that's something which we've been seeing and hearing since this morning. So with that idea, okay, sorry. I took the 3-minute a little literally. Okay, so with that idea, what the Better India really started doing is discovering and reporting positive news across India at a grassroots level, identifying what people are doing. We basically bracket ourselves into three things. We call ourselves positive news, happy stories, and unsung heroes. By unsung heroes, we talk about change makers, organizations who are making a difference. And by doing all of this, what we've managed to do is build a community, build a repository of ideas, engage people, catalyze cross-pollination of ideas, and very important, and which has been a revelation to us, that we are actually catalyzing on-the-ground social impact. And I will just go into that a little more in detail. But that is something which we've seen. So far, just to step back, this is a little dated. We published more than 1,000 articles so far. We continue to publish 2 to 3 stories every day, stories of change, stories of impact. And we've built this huge network of people across India who are identifying stories and feeding unto us. This is a network of almost about 100 people. And what do we cover? We cover a really broad spectrum of topics, right from unsung heroes, talking about travel, offbeat travel, arts and culture, grassroots innovations, and women empowerment, education, and a whole bunch of these things. You should take a look at our site to get a better idea of what all we do.
A minute to wrap up.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my favorite slide. This is what gets us going. By just using the power of storytelling, by just sharing positive stories, positive news, we've catalyzed so much of impact. This is 5 out of 100+ case studies that we have right now. We ran a story about an organization which wanted solar lamps to be distributed in Orissa. We raised 1,000 solar lamps in 48 hours. Our readers contributed. We've had a, thank you. We featured a school in Chennai which teaches deaf girls. Our readers went there, spent 3.5 lakh rupees over a weekend, got their hostel block fixed. To the extent that I will not be able to run through all of them, but you can look up our site. We have all our case studies listed. We've even influenced a government policy on a hill station conservation efforts. One of our articles was cited in